This is a Su-57 Felon. This is a J-20 Mighty Dragon, and this is an F-35 Lightning. All three are fifth-generation stealth multi-role fighter aircraft, and all three represent their country's most modern and advanced fighters. But they each have different roles and capabilities. So here's a breakdown of how they stack up against one another. But first things first, let's look at where each of these aircraft came from. The Su-57 was developed by the Russian aircraft manufacturer Sukhoi and made its first flight back in 2010. It was designed primarily as an air superiority fighter meant to counter threats, the F-22 Raptor, and to fulfill a need for a new frontline fighter within the Russian Air Force that could fill the capability gap left by the aging MiG-29 and Su-27 fleets. The Su-57 has also been designed to be a multi-role platform capable of performing ground attack and reconnaissance missions in addition to its primary role as an air superiority fighter. The J-20 was developed by the Chinese aircraft manufacturer Chengdu and made its first flight in 2011. Like the Su-57, it was also designed primarily as an air superiority fighter meant to bring China's air forces into the fifth-generation club and to help modernize and reform the PLAAF. However, unlike the Su-57, the J-20 has a larger fuselage and a longer range, which means that it can operate further away from Chinese airspace and gives it the ability to project power over a much larger area. In fact, the J-20 was designed specifically for long-range air dominance missions. The F-35 was developed by Lockheed Martin's legendary Skunk Works division and made its first flight in 2006. Unlike the J-20 and the Su-57, the F-35 wasn't designed with a primary focus on air superiority. Instead, it was designed as a multi-role stealth fighter with several different variants being developed for the United States Air Force, Navy, and Marines. F-35B, for example, is a short takeoff and vertical landing capable fighter, which makes it ideal for use aboard aircraft carriers like the USS Tripoli. The F-35C is optimized for carrier operations, and the F-35A is the conventional takeoff and landing variant that is operated by the vast majority of F-35 users. Now that we know a bit about where each of these programs came from, let's take a closer look at some of their individual characteristics, starting with stealth. The Su-57 is what's referred to as partially stealth. This means that while it does have some features that make it difficult to detect on enemy radar, it's not designed to be as stealthy as aircraft like the F-35 or the J-20. Some of the Su-57's stealth features include 2 internal weapons bays, a reduced radar cross-section, and the use of radar-absorbent materials. However, its low stealth profile is somewhat offset by the fact that it doesn't employ the same level of stealth coatings and materials that the other two jets do. Additionally, its air intakes are not optimized for stealth, and its design appears to emphasize maneuverability rather than stealth. The J-20, on the other hand, was designed with stealth in mind from the beginning. It has a relatively small radar cross-section thanks to its canard delta wing layout, the use of stealth coatings, and the use of 2 internal weapons bays. However, recent reports indicate that the J-20 may not be as stealthy as originally advertised, with some sources claiming that it has a radar cross-section comparable to the F-16 Fighting Falcon. Despite this, the J-20 remains one of the stealthiest fighters in the world, and it represents a significant improvement over China's 4th-generation fighters like the J-10 and J-11. The F-35 is widely regarded as the stealthiest fighter in the world. Its design is highly optimized for stealth with a minimal radar cross-section and a number of design features that make it difficult to detect. These features include a small radar cross-section thanks to its blended wing-body configuration, extensive use of stealth materials, carefully designed air intakes and exhaust system, and the embedding of its sensors within the airframe itself. For example, the F-35's distributed aperture system or DAS consists of 6 infrared cameras that surround the aircraft and provide the pilot with a nearly 360-degree view of the battlefield. This gives the F-35 unparalleled situational awareness and helps to make up for any potential deficiencies in its air-to-air combat capabilities. And speaking of air-to-air combat, the F-35 has an incredible sensor suite and radar system that allows it to detect and track multiple targets at once. It's an APG-81 AESA radar, is one of the most advanced in the world, and it provides the F-35 with the ability to engage multiple targets at once, even in contested airspace. Additionally, the F-35's internal weapons bay doors are designed to be opened only when the jet is in a nose-high attitude. This is to minimize the aircraft's radar cross-section when it's in a less-than-ideal position. Next up, let's talk about speed. The Su-57 is a twin-engine Talus stealth fighter with a maximum speed of just under Mach 2. This makes it faster than most fourth-generation fighters like the F-15E Strike Eagle and the F-16, but slower than the F-22 Raptor. While it isn't the fastest fighter in the world, the Su-57 is capable of supercruise. Supercruise is the ability to fly at supersonic speeds without the use of afterburners. Afterburners increase thrust by burning additional fuel, but they also increase the aircraft's thermal signature and make it easier to detect. The Su-57 can supercruise at around Mach 1.5, but this requires specialized engines, which Russia has not yet been able to produce. However, once these engines enter service, the Su-57 will become one of the few operational supersonic cruise-capable fighters in the world. The J-20 is also a twin-engine fighter, but it doesn't have the same kind of performance capabilities as the Su-57. Its current top speed is thought to be around Mach 1.6, but it's not capable of supercruise. The J-20 uses two modified Saturn AL-31FN engines, which are derived from the Russian-designed AL-41. While these engines provide the J-20 with the thrust it needs for flight, they are not as efficient or powerful as the indigenous high-thrust engines that China plans to put in production in the near future. Once the J-20 begins using these new engines, its speed and range will increase significantly. The F-35, on the other hand, is a single-engine fighter with a top speed of around Mach 1.6. It's not optimized for high-speed combat, but that's not really its purpose. As a multi-role fighter, the F-35's design focuses more on efficiency and multi-role capabilities rather than sheer speed or power. Additionally, its mission radius is 550 miles, or 885 kilometers, which is shorter than both the Su-57 and the J-20. When it comes to maneuverability, the Su-57 takes the cake. It's easily the most agile fighter of the bunch thanks to its thrust vectoring engines, high aspect ratio wings, and aerodynamically efficient design. The thrust vectoring allows the pilot to direct the thrust of the engines independently from the direction that the aircraft is facing. This gives the pilot more control over the aircraft and allows it to perform aerial maneuvers that would be impossible for a traditional fighter. In fact, the Su-57 is considered to be one of the most maneuverable fighters in the world, capable of performing incredibly tight turns and rapid maneuvers with ease. The J-20 is also a highly maneuverable fighter, but it's not quite as agile as the Su-57. This is due to its larger size and lower thrust-to-weight ratio. Despite this, the J-20 is still more maneuverable than the F-35, which was designed with stealth and multi-role capabilities in mind rather than air-to-air combat prowess. Finally, let's talk about weapons. Su-57 is a multi-role fighter, which means that it's capable of carrying a variety of different weapons. These weapons can be carried internally in one of the Su-57's two weapons bays, or externally on hardpoints located under the wings and on the fuselage. The Su-57 can carry a variety of missiles and bombs, including anti-ship missiles, air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground missiles, and precision-guided bombs. It can also carry electronic warfare pods and reconnaissance equipment. The J-20, on the other hand, is still relatively new to service, and its loadout options are still being developed. However, it's clear that the J-20 was designed to carry long-range air-to-air missiles internally. This is evidenced by the two large weapons bays, which are optimized for carrying long missiles like the Place 15 and the future generation of Chinese stealth long-range air-to-air missiles. Additionally, the J-20 has 4 external hardpoints for carrying additional fuel tanks or smaller weapons. The F-35, like the Su-57, is a multi-role fighter that can carry a variety of different weapons. However, unlike the Su-57, the F-35 was designed to carry these weapons internally. This allows the F-35 to maintain its stealth profile, even when carrying a full payload of weapons. The F-35 can carry a variety of internal and external weapons, including air-to-air missiles, joint direct attack munition, guided bombs, and large-diameter bombs. Additionally, the F-35 can carry electronic warfare pods and other sensor systems. Each of these jets represents its country's military philosophy and technological priorities. The Su-57 is designed to be a highly maneuverable multi-role fighter with an emphasis on air superiority. The J-20 is a long-range stealth fighter designed to give China the ability to project power over a large area. And the F-35 is a highly advanced multi-role fighter that incorporates the latest in sensor fusion and distributed aperture technology. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel.